What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about maple today. Maple finance, or syrup, I guess. Actually, sorry, syrup, maple finance. That's what we're talking about today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Maple was the old token. Syrup is the new token. Here we are at 41.5 cents right now. 6 hours left in the day. I do think we're about to top off. I do think that we're going to move down. It's kind of funny how a lot of cryptos had this like left shoulder head. They're like forming a head and shoulders pattern, but clearly we're not in a head and shoulders pattern now. I don't know what to call this, man. It's like maybe it's a pennant. It could be a pennant. Looking at this on a daily time frame, the RSI is cooled way the hell off. Finding a lower high here, rejecting the 60. If today closes red, I would expect you to go down. But you guys, if I'm being honest, looking at this thing, it might not go. It's very possible that we might not see prices down as low as I was thinking, that we might not go down to 28 cents or lower. If we're looking at this here from a low there to a high there, the reason why I was thinking that we go to 28 cents or lower, if I can just get it at the right high, is because that right there is where our bearish divergence started. You have a high here, lower high, lower high. That's bearish divergence, double bearish divergence. It started all the way back here, and typically with bearish divergence, you'll see a move down that goes not just to where the divergence started, but a little bit through it. And it's very common in strong moves and weak moves, in any kind of move, even if you're moving down, right? It's very, very common to find support at the 382. And that right there would take you just below your divergence starting point, and you might find support there. And it's very common not just to go to that starting point, but to go a little bit below it, right there, 24 cents, 24.4 cents. Makes a lot of sense. We're at 41.6 cents now, though. And what you've done over the past week now is pretty impressive, I got to say, because you've given yourself time to cool off in the RSI. You've gotten lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price. You're still holding up here pretty well. And finding support at the 236 is not a common thing to do unless you're absurdly bullish. So the fact that you're finding resistance at the 069 makes me think that you probably do go a little bit lower. So just keep that in mind. But I'll tell you what, as long as you hold above 31.3 cents, there's a solid chance that you don't go any lower. There's a solid chance that that could have been your low there. If you get above 47 cents, that's how we know that that's the low and that you're moving higher, man. And when you move higher, it's going to be glorious. It's probably not going to be, looking at the current trajectory, how you move, I would expect that you're not just going to rip to the upside. I mean, maybe initially you do, right? You broke out of this and you had an initial rip, but then you kind of configured yourself and slowly started crawling up. You know what I mean? So I would expect that in time you do move higher, but let's talk about the downside first, because again, being here at the 069, I think that you will reject and you will come down. The more interactions you have with that 236, the more likely it's going to break. So this next time is more likely to break than this first time was. And the RSI is rejecting off the 60, likely going to take you lower there as well. We probably bounce off the 40 or the oversold zone itself, somewhere in this zone. We bounce off of there and then move up. That should reflect on price action that is somewhere around 24 cents to 30 cents or lower. You know what I mean? Sorry, I thought I heard one of my cats meowing. 1 hour time frame, but like it was like a weird meow. Maybe it was just my daughter. 1 hour time frame here. Looking at this, the 1 hour RSI, it's volatile. It looks bearish though, right? You're getting oversold. You're not getting overbought. I mean, this is weird, right? You're getting oversold. You're getting deeper readings into the bearish areas control than you are in the bullish areas, but you're living more above the 50 than you are below the 50. That's just so weird. So weird, but let's be fair. I mean, this price action is kind of weird too, if we're being honest. It is pretty weird. You're finding resistance at prior areas of resistance. I think you're going to go lower. Absolutely, I do. This is not an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Inverse head and shoulders patterns don't happen at the top. That's not what happens. So it's not an inverse head and shoulders pattern. It kind of looks like one, but you're not performing as one. I think that you're finding resistance here, and you're probably going to move down. Let's look at something with some volume on it real quick, because we are in the shorter term stuff. Yeah, no volume coming in on the upside. No volume to the downside either, to be fair, but we don't really need volume if you're just in this consolidation range. Once you break out, that's when you'll get the volume. Whatever direction it is, you'll see the volume come in. 1 hour, though, it does look bearish to me, I have to say. You've got higher highs right now in the RSI, lower highs in the price, hidden bearish divergence. You're getting oversold, you're not getting overbought. Weird, wonky price action, but still bearishly charged, I would say. It would make more sense if you find resistance here. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour paints a different picture, actually. Bouncing off the 50 is a good thing. Getting overbought, getting oversold, getting oversold, getting overbought. Very volatile. Very, very volatile. Volatility for sure. That's what we're seeing here. The fact that you got oversold and now you haven't gotten overbought, though, is a sign. I think that's a flinch on the bullish part of weakness. You're probably going to go to the downside. I would think that you do go down, but I will say bouncing off the 50 is nice. If you can do something with it, then you can invalidate me, but you got to do something with it quick, right? We're at the hold on. Sorry. We're at the point now where it's like make it or break it. So if you want to prove me wrong, you need to move probably by the end of tomorrow. You need to be above this high. Okay, some point by the end of tomorrow, you need to do that. If at all, today or tomorrow, you start moving down, you go below this low. That bounce off the 50 was really nothing at all. You're going to go lower, probably take out this low. And with that, I think we're in a more prime situation to break out of this area here, break below that 236 and go down to the 382 zone right there at 24.4 cents. I would expect at the least that we see 28 cents, but man, it's so weird from a low to a high fib, right? That wasn't the low, by the way. Let's get the low on there. Low to high. It's so weird to stop right here in the middle of the 236 and the 382. Like you go right here to where the why can't I talk? The divergence, right where that started, and then you bounce. It makes sense from a RSI standpoint, but from a fib standpoint, this is just like less than 5% of the time that happens. Most of the time, genuinely, it's like less than 5% of the time. Most of the time, you go right to that 382 if you break below the 236. That's all I'm saying. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I very much do expect that syrup moves up in a very short amount of time. Just right now, like this week, this next coming week, we probably move down with the rest of the markets. But in no time at all, you're going to be reaching for prices that are worth multiple dollars, several dollars by the end of July. You got a lot of growth to go. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.